All right, so here we are with Meet the Team, here with Jordan. Hello, Jordan.
Hey there, Michael. How are we doing?
Good. Yourself?
Doing great.
Good. So you've been now with us for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who is Jordan? Introduce Jordan to everybody.
Ooh. Well, hey everybody. My name's Jordan. If you already know me, you'll know that if I start talking fishing, I might not stop. So I tend to have the good habit to find a breaking point and say, before I find something else to talk about, we'll end it right there. But family orientated, foster dogs, fishing, and flooring. A few F's in there.
But all good words.
That's right.
So yeah, so I know you've mentioned fishing quite a bit in there. You're saying you now use barbless hooks on your fishing?
Yeah, I mean, talking with some of the guys around the shop here, and it's just like, you know what, I kind of get that because, wrangling fish and just trying to get the hook out. So if it's one that you want to release, you want to make sure you release it healthily.
Yeah.
And it's just to the point where I went to Manitoba and they're all barbless, and it's just a matter of maintaining tension. And then they pop out nice and easy and they can go on their merry way unless they get cooked on the fire.
Cool. So I know, Jordan, you worked in flooring for a few years. How did that genesis occur? How did you get into flooring?
How did I get into flooring? Well, there's a new challenge, right? I've in my sales career, I've gone from many different kind of industries, and then when I ended up in flooring, I was kind of like, well, I'm not sure. It might be kind of like a boring product, but you know what? I got to keep an open mind about it. And then I realized it's actually quite fun being able to solve problems for people, learn how to freshen up a space. And me, I'm a big fan of carpet, in which I've got a customer that wants to go ahead with the carpet today. That's good. Got to pick out some lino. And it's just what's nice about it is that it's never the same thing. Anything's very different. And I have relief knowing that I'm not going to know everything. There's always something new to learn. I like new. Because if it's cookie cutter, copy and paste, repeat, it can get kind of boring, sleeping at the wheel type thing.
Yeah.
But stuck around, made some changes, but yeah, I'm back and it's good.
That's awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. You're already a rock star here, so that's awesome.
Thank
So
you.
we greatly appreciate that. So when somebody comes in, what's your way of dealing with people?
I have people notice it and some people don't, but I like to make sure I'm chatting with folks as if I've known them and been their friends for like 10 years, for a long time. Sometimes it catches people off guard and they're like, this regular guy, he's a regular dude.
Mm-hmm.
How can I be of service to you? What brings you in today? How you doing? And sometimes if I'm feeling quirky, I'm like, they're finally here. What's going on? I've been waiting for you all day. I'm bored. Kind of lighten them up and just, and some other days I'm like, flooring. What happened? Right? Just break the tea or the news or whatever and just kind of find out what their obstacle is and how can I help them get over it or drag them across the finish line to where they want to be.
Yeah, no. And you sort of hit on it before on you're solving problems.
Yeah.
Right? When you just things, hey, let's go look at a new carpet today, or hey, let's go buy a new hardwood floor today, right? There's usually a reason involved with it, right?
Yes.
So, and I know the big thing, just watching you deal with people, it's very much a consultative process. You're finding out what they need, what they like, what they don't like, and find the right solution. Because, the downside I've always found with the internet, the interwebs, being so ubiquitous as they are, is that there's a lot of misinformation, right? So I deal with a lot of people come in and say, hey, Michael, I'm looking for some laminate. Awesome. Why?
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Because again, they might have read online, oh, it's this. But blah, 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 right? So finding out their issues, find the correct solution for them, what they love about the current floor, what they hate about the current floor, find that, sort of pop it all together in the end.
100%.
Right?
Like, I mean, laminate's a great example too, because it's like, maybe it's what they're used to, or it's what they recommended. The Joneses have it next door kind of deal, but it's like, is it right for the space?
Yes. And for their lifestyle and for their expectations, right? Because it's a constant battle with expectations. Actually, I had a conversation with one of the suppliers recently, and they were saying, oh, his LVP, it's scratch proof. Like, whoa, resistant. Nothing scratch proof. Believe me, I can put a scratch in anything. So I just gotta keep going back to that one vendor, a great guy, but he kept telling me that this one product was bulletproof. It's bulletproof. It's bulletproof. So I said, "Are you sure? Because I'll actually shoot with a 22 and see." "Oh yeah, Michael, it's bulletproof." Took it, shot it that night, sent it pictures. Like, what bulletproof? The 22 gets through. It's like, come on. So yeah, so no, that's awesome.
Just when it comes to solutions, or when it's not a matter of, when it comes to like the reasons for
Mhm.
people coming in for flooring, and I like to tell people it's not a matter of, when or if, but when
Mhm.
something happens, right? There's life that happens. There's, uh, I guess, for lack of better terms, catastrophe like a flooding or sewer backup and things of that nature. Or there are just milestones with B2B relationships, like they have other projects going on, they have different clients going on. One thing I like on the B2B side of things and how I've really been able to connect with project managers is I'm not the star of the show. I'm here to make you look good. Here's my viable solutions. I want to do things right.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's just, to the glory. I'm just happy to help. You'll hear me say that a million times. Sometimes put it at the tail end of an email. It was just the right attitude, and people want to work with appropriate attitude.
Very true. I was actually
Yeah.
talking to a designer last week. Yeah, last week. And she was commenting that, so many of the people she deals with, not just flooring, but this was specifically related to flooring,
Hmm.
that they were going to stores and they were feeling very unappreciated, right? Almost that they were higher and mighty because they had been dealing in flooring for so long, so they knew more than everybody else. And which I was like,
Mm.
oh, come on. Eh. Or like you said, we're all people. We're all here to find the right solution. It's all good.
Yeah.
What else? What else did I tell her? ICC. So I know one of the strengths that you bring to the GR team is you have experience with ICC,
Yeah.
which we are now an approved vendor with. So yeah. So, we're going to go into a few other videos on this, but can you give me a quick run through? So somebody has a fire, somebody has a flood, somebody has a catastrophe that occurs that involves the floors. My understanding is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, they call their adjuster, get a contractor and do whatever cleanup, do whatever.
Mhm.
And the contractor typically will then get a ICC validation for the flooring, which just guarantees you're going to get the same or similar product or quality that you previously had. They send it off to their vendor of choice, their flooring vendor of choice. We send in a quote. They send in a quote. Say we for our sake, right? And then the selections occur, right? Trying
Yeah.
to keep within those numbers. Is that correct?
Yeah, in a nutshell, more so, there's a lot of like kind of intricate moving things. Sometimes there's variables that happen in like a few of my files. They've got this to deal with now. Okay, pump the brakes there. Okay, and then until they move on to the next step, then they bring me back in there too. I always like being you know brought into the loop as to what's going on. But yeah, it comes to validation, get that in. I love getting blueprints of the house because if they're not already, complete with their measurements, their sketches, and usually sent to me, which a lot of project managers do. I'm like a phone call or a text away, and I can just go right on site and meet them. Maybe not 3 in the morning, but I mean, if they're doing demo, like yesterday we went to a couple and they're just doing demo or fixing up drywall, get our measurements, and so it's being more proactive to really help the contractors meet their very tight deadlines. Because I learned a bit about that, but not to get into too many details. So it's just a matter of being very service orientated to these kind of clients. And that way, you know, big job, little job, I've done single bathrooms to large commercial spaces. We treat them all the same.
Yeah.
Because if we knew a flood or a sewer backup or a fire was going to happen and be like, okay, it's right about time, we've done that,
Yes.
right? We knew that ahead of time,
Yeah.
but it's not a matter of if, but when life happens. I'd just be happy to help, come up with a nice streamlined process, and then also know the products that the ICC program approves, because there's like the preferred products, the neutral, and then the not approved,
Yeah.
scoring for things like that. Stay within that, and that's always fine. And I mean, There's also opportunities to renovate other spaces, which isn't a problem, but it's just a matter of making sure everybody's on the same page as to what's getting done, clean and clear, and I mean, don't worry about anything else. And you think,
Yeah. And again, like you said, sort of the timeline, right?
yeah,
So we're on top of making sure that everything's moving fast on the flooring side, right?
yeah,
We can't control what the drywallers do. We can't control what the framers. We can't control
no,
the painters, but we can make sure that, you know what, you're going to get the right product, the right value for your home. And I know one of the things already you've gone to bat with the program on a few times just to make sure that the right products and right
mm,
allowances in there, right?
yeah,
So it's there's a little bit of give and take in the whole system,
100%.
but it's making sure that yes, they say technically this, we make sure you have the right stuff.
Hmm. And installed correctly too,
Yep.
because I mean, a big thing is tile's the big one where, when you install tile on a floor, gotta be porcelain. That's my rule.
Yeah.
When it comes to the substrate, okay, but what's it going on? Wood floors, substrates will flex as they do. Concrete, a lot more forgiving. We can go right to it, but have an uncoupling membrane so you're not cracking and breaking and all those kind of things. And have big kids like you stepping on tile and, oh, sorry, I broke it kind of deal. But it's just what's necessary for the application to get the job done correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. We can get a long winded talk about that another day. Perfect. Well, hey, Jordan,
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it and look forward to working with you.
thank you. Likewise.